This is Logan Thomas, tight end for the Washington Commanders, and you're listening to the Best Bell Fantasy Podcast.
And welcome into episode 51 of the Best Bell Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Bradley Stalder, and tonight I'll be drafting live on the Fantrax website. This is the Fantrax 2022 VIP Classic. So only 11 other invites. You had to have a special invite from Jock Peterson himself, and Jock Peterson is drafting 9th overall. Jock Peterson, for those who are unfamiliar, fantasy football fanatic, Jock Peterson. World Series champion, Jock Peterson. Two-time All-Star outfielder, Jock Peterson. Currently San Francisco Giant, Jock Peterson. And so tonight, I'll be jumping into the league that he created with Fantrax. And I received a special invite. My son upstairs as well, going to co-manage with me. He is only a couple weeks old, but he and I will go through and make some of these decisions. He's sending through cries and yells what picks I should make. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with Fantrax, most of these leagues, you can customize leagues however you'd like. However, this 2022 VIP Classic League is a full PPR. Start one quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, 1 flex. You do have a kicker. You do have a defense. And the draft is going to start in about 5 minutes. I have the 101. And so many people are like, Jonathan Taylor is 1. But I think this is where we can leverage some ADPs. Okay? You can leverage some ADPs because number 2 is Austin Eckler. On no other site have I seen Austin Eckler as the 2nd overall player. So this is, I haven't seen it. So this is a place where I think you can leverage ADPs comparing that to the other sites. There we go. Going to make it much larger. There we go. 12. We get the whole board in there. Awesome. So there we go. So Evan may be joining me. Evan Brown, the evolution of Superflex Dynasty Nerds, host of Dynasty Debates podcast. He is visiting family, so hopefully he can get all set up with us. If not, it looks like we're going to have to do the draft anyways. So if Evan pops in, I'll definitely introduce him and then we'll get going. There's going to be a lot of space in between myself and Evan to be able to get going. So this is a full PPR, and in doing my projections, I noticed a difference between Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey. In half PPR or in standard leagues, I would go with Jonathan Taylor. But in full PPR, it makes sense to go with Christian McCaffrey. And I have Christian McCaffrey ahead of Jonathan Taylor in full PPR. In half PPR, I can see the path that Jonathan Taylor has. He's one of the best offensive lines. You have an improved offense with Matt Ryan at quarterback. And then he was already a stud. I'm not worried about Nyheim Hines taking away rushes. And so does Nyheim Hines take away a few more passes this year? Possibly. But that's not as big of a concern for me. I don't think that you're going to see a ton more of Nyheim Hines this year. I know there's been rumblings out of camp and people have been saying what they're going to say about getting Nyheim Hines involved. But until you see it, it's not there. And we saw it 2 years ago with Nyheim Hines, but he has some spike weeks and then he just goes away. He's not one of those consistent running back threes that will give you 8 to 12 points. No, he'll give you 0 or he'll give you like 20. and that's the tough thing about Nyheim Hines is that he's much more inconsistent than a JD McKissick. Give me JD McKissick rounds later after Nyheim Hines. I think you're paying up for the Indianapolis Colts and you're paying down for the Washington Commanders if you're picking Hines over JD McKissick in a full PPR league. But in this league, because it is full PPR and we're going to get started in 2 minutes, I'm really excited to take Christian McCaffrey 101 here and then come back around and look at who is going where, what the ADPs are. Okay. Evan may jump in a few rounds, so that's totally fine. It's going to be, a little bit because Evan's got the 111, so I'm not too worried about that. Less Jock. So Jock Peterson is drafting 109, which is cool. And this is going on the Instagram Live as well. So there's an Instagram Live. If you want to see Jock Peterson, I'm going to rewatch that Instagram Live later. Right now, I'm focused on drafting, and I want to beat Jock Peterson. Much less everyone else in my draft, but I definitely want to be the all-star outfielder in this draft. So that's what I'm looking for. And looking at who's going to be there for me based on ADP at this turn. If Saquon Barkley is there, holy buckets. I'm stoked for that. T. Higgins as well. I love getting T. Higgins at the back end of the second round, beginning of the third round. And then looking at who else would come back around to me. I'm hoping that with the likes of, Breece Hall is going pretty high. If Travis Etienne can come back to me, we're in good shape. Yeah, we'll see. But this is where like running back could be in play if one of those running backs falls. Like if Aaron Jones falls, if Leonard Fournette falls, if Saquon Barkley falls. So we're going to get started here in 30 seconds. And there we go. Cool beans. Okay, so the stream is live on Instagram, and we're going to get started in about 15 seconds. It should not be a surprise that I'm going to take Christian McCaffrey at the 101. Full PPR, absolutely. McCaffrey's got the upside, and it's not close. All right, we are starting now. We're going to draft Christian McCaffrey. Draft room is live. Okay, we are going to go with Christian McCaffrey for the third time. There we go. All right. Anyone freak out there? Let's see if anyone makes a comment. I don't know. It shouldn't be a surprise. It should go pretty quickly. This is a 16-round draft, 30 seconds each. Should only be about a 40-minute draft, if that. So 45 minutes. Yeah, not very long, especially if people are sure about how long it's taking. Okay. Average time. Interesting. So Fantrax does track how long the average time it is to pick in the corner. It tells you how many picks until your next turn. You can change the color background. Extremely dark. Ooh, yes. I love the extremely dark. That's nice. All right. We're seeing going off the board, McCaffrey I took at 101, Jonathan Taylor, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Najee Harris, and Dalvin Cook. That's early for those players. But there are some truthers for Najee Harris. But I'm going to go out here and say it. Najee Harris doesn't even put up 1,200 yards. He doesn't put up even 1,100 yards. I have him projected at barely 1,000 yards of rushing. That's not good. And I don't believe that Najee Harris is going to pay off at the 105. If you can get Najee Harris in the back end of the second round, that's where you want to hit. But he's not falling there. Some people are convinced that this offense, wow, we are going running back heavy to start. Ooh, this is interesting. I love to see it. And Jamar Chase goes at 109. Are you kidding me? How can you compete with that when Jamar Chase goes off at 19? Jamar Chase usually goes at the 105. I was even thinking, you know what? I'll just throw a wrench into the whole plan and take Jamar Chase at the 101 just so I can get Chase, Higgins, and then just mess around a little bit. Take who you want, but I want to win this. That's what I want. So Jamar Chase at the 109, the 110, Aaron Jones, Travis Kelce at the 111. All right. At full PPR, positional advantage. That's not a bad pick. Evan. So there you go. Fantrax is up. A representative from Fantrax picking here. The average time through the first round is about 13 seconds. Not bad. Devontae Adams goes off the board. Not bad. Okay. Yes. All right. There we go. So Devontae Adams, a few surprises in this first round. Aaron Jones going at the 110. That's surprising. Jamar Chase falling to the 109. That's surprising. Derrick Henry at the 1-8. That's fine. Dalvin Cook and Najee Harris at the 1-5 and 1-6. Wowzer. Okay. Devontae Adams is nice. Stephon Diggs is nice. That's a good turn. Kelsey and Swift. Ooh, that's very nice. All right. Yeah. Deebo Samuel goes off the 2-3. That's about where Deebo's been going, and I'm more comfortable taking Deebo Samuel at about pick 15, or like way earlier in this offseason. He was going as a back-end first-round pick, and I just couldn't get behind it with the contract situation, and yeah, it is a whole problem. No, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. All right, we're going to dismiss. Never. Okay, cool. So Joe Mixon goes off. Jock Peterson starts. Jamar Chase, CD Lamb. That's pretty nice. That's a good start. Okay. And yeah, we've seen some wide receiver starts, tight end running back start, and one running back wide receiver start. And we will see who I'm left with at the back end of this first round. So Javonte Williams went off. So 2 straight running backs. I have not hated. Wow. All right. We took Justin Herbert at the 2-8. Okay. That's a bit spicy for me. You can usually wait until round 4 or 5 to get maybe round 4 to get Justin Herbert. But nevertheless, here we are. Oh, please. I really want Saquon Barkley here. We've got 2 picks, and Barkley is there. Fournette is there. Those are players that I'm thinking about at this spot. But if I don't get those players, I am interested in Higgins went off the board, A.J. Brown. So I'm guaranteed to get one of Fournette or Barkley. And if I can get Fournette and Barkley, that's really nice. Yeah, Mrs. Tom Brady drafting here. For those who haven't heard, Tom Brady himself is excused from camp. A.J. Brown goes off, and I'm going to draft Saquon Barkley. Yes, let's go. Waiting to smash that. And we're going to go Leonard Fournette, baby. Okay, I've started running back. Happy with it. Absolutely elated with that start. I have the best running back. I have a former running back 1 overall in Saquon Barkley. And Leonard Fournette was out with an injury. Godwin's recovering from an ACL. Mike Evans is recovering from a hamstring injury. Rob Gronkowski has retired. It is not looking good. TST also drafting David Montgomery like 2 rounds ahead of ADP. So I think it's going to be a lot of cleanup from N Repa and T Coolbaugh getting the players that they want there. So is that the one? No, less Jock, more Rock. Okay. Yeah, you have to start 3 wide receivers. But at least I know going in, I'm just going to hammer wide receiver for the next however many rounds. And I'm feeling pretty comfortable with it. I'm upset that T. Higgins and A.J. Brown went off. I was not willing to take Mike Evans or go down to a Jalen Waddle. Yeah, it looks like there might be some pushing of this tier of running back. I'll be interested to see who goes at 48. But if I can get Jalen Waddle on the comeback, if I can get a DJ Moore would be very nice at this spot. I like DJ Moore as a wide receiver 1. Brandon Cooks as a solid wide receiver 2. But Evans has been falling. Pittman goes off the board. I liked Pittman. I hoped he would have stayed up. But yeah, there's been some miscues so far in this draft. Hopefully they find some recovery, but ultimately getting Evans at the 3-9, that's egregious in my opinion. Jock Peterson just scooping up the value with Jamar Chase, CD Lamb, and Mike Evans. Boom, boom, boom. Travis Etienne goes off the board. That's a nice pick. I love Travis Etienne. And that's at pick 34, a little after the ADP that I see on the full PPR best ball site Drafters Fantasy. A little bit after ADP, but Evans fell a ton. Very, very interesting. Yeah, now we're getting into the dead zone running backs with Cam Akers and James Conner, Antonio Gibson, Breece Hall, Josh Jacobs, Elijah Mitchell is in this dead zone. AJ Dillon's in the dead zone. Damian Harris, yikes. Oh, baby. Oh, Cortland Sutton's back there. Oh, baby. All right. If I can get some Cortland Sutton as a wide receiver 1-2, I think I'm in really good shape. And then I can be targeting Russell Wilson later on in the draft. Let someone else take the rest of the quarterbacks. Russell Wilson right now, based on quarterback rankings, he's going as the ninth. He's going 9th overall. Although I would be surprised if Brady went all the way ahead of him. There's plenty of really good value left on the board, so I'm going to take whatever's given to me. Seems like value will fall. Wow, I'm surprised Evan didn't take Patrick Mahomes there, although he probably is ticked off that if Mahomes won't be available to him at the end of the 5th round. Yikes. Oh, Cortland Sutton, are you kidding me? Oh, wow, that is egregious right now. Yikes. Looks like others may be having trouble with the platform. Some auto drafts. Someone wanted Najee Harris instead of Justin Jefferson. Are you out of your mind? What? That can't be true. That can't be true. I just can't believe that someone would say that they want Najee Harris over Justin Jefferson in a start 3 wide receiver draft. I can't believe it. Okay, looking at the rest of the draft, I see Marquise Brown is in this tier. Yeah, I think the tiers really fall off here. Darren Waller is here, but I'm not going to take Waller in the 4th round. Who would take Waller in the 4th round? All right, it's coming up to me next. I am looking at Marquise Brown at this spot. So there's some countdown music that happens there. I'm just going to cross-check a few other ADPs. Looks McLaurin goes off at about this spot. There we go. Terry McLaurin and Marquise Brown. That seems to be a great place for them. At the 48 and 49th pick, way behind ADP. I'm just going to keep picking off value at this point. So we're starting full PPR with Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Marquise Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Leonard Fournette. Off the board, we see some of the dead zone running backs go off. Elijah Mitchell, Josh Jacobs, Antonio Gibson. And then we see, wow, all right. And Repa goes Judy and Akuagbunam, rounds 4 and 5. That's surprising to me. I'm not a Judy guy, but I get it. But the problem is, why is this not showing up for me? So the problem for me is that I could see how Akuagbunam can fail, right? There's a lot of ways in which Akuagbunam can fail. He could just plainly not be good at football. Or he's been very efficient, but Russ may not look his way. Or he could get bodied out in target shares. Or he could get unlucky. Or he could get injured. And those are things that maybe applies to everybody. But not everybody has the competition that Akuagbunam has. With Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and Javonte Williams. Okay. Dulcich is pushing him. So I am concerned a little bit about that. Yeah, we've seen some quarterbacks get pushed up the board. A lot. Some really wild picks here. David Montgomery going in the 3rd round. Akuagbunam going in the 5th round. Justin Herbert going in the 2nd round, just to name a couple of them. Yeah. So I'm just cross-checking ADPs because the Fantrax one is definitely not the ADP that I'm used to. So just making sure that I have, and I'm checking myself here to optimize based on my experiences. And and what I see. So I have the two wide receivers, Marquise Brown, Terry McLaurin. I have Christian McCaffrey and Barkley and Fournette. I'm probably going to push quarterback unless there's some egregious value, although it looks like Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, and Allen have all gone off in the 5th and 6th rounds. And that's about right for those types of players. One player who has not gone off yet is Allen Robinson. So to get Allen Robinson would be a steal, in my opinion. And I want to tie myself as much as I can to good offenses, but it's either good offenses or high volume. And we see Juju Smith-Schuster and Brandon Ayuk go off. That's early for Ayuk. That's pick 68. Usually goes around like in the 80s, the early or mid 80s. Adam Thielen goes off much later than this. I am surprised a bit wherever Godwin goes. It's probably at 59. So we're talking pick 72. If Godwin is there, I'd love to stash him. Robinson goes off. Crud. Okay. And yeah, Godwin is there that I see. Did Bateman go off? Rashad Bateman, welcome to the team. Okay. There we go. Welcome to the team, Rashad Bateman. And just checking the rest of the ADPs before I select Chris Godwin, because I can afford to take some risks now. I filled out my wide receivers. I filled out my flex. I'm just going to keep accumulating value at ADP. And frankly, there wasn't anyone at this spot, tight end wise or quarterback wise, that I was willing to pull the trigger on. Yeah, let's see where's Elijah Moore? Did he go up already? Yes, he did. Okay. So unfortunately, Elijah Moore did go off there. I got Godwin. I got Bateman, both at discounts. Bateman usually goes at pick 51 or 52. I got him at 72. Godwin usually goes off at 59, 60, and I got him at 73. So I'm feeling pretty good about the values I'm getting. Loved picking up Barkley and Fournette at these spots. I don't understand the double tight end pick here either. TST 1860. There's some problems with the way the draft has gone for TST 1860, but yeah, we'll take it. We will. We'll roll with the punches. Okay, no, gonna body me out in tight end. I guess we're going 0 tight end today. I'm just gonna add a few players to the queue if they're there. I'm gonna add Drake London to the queue. Okay. All right. We see Devonta Smith go off. Tony Pollard, Cordell Patterson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire go off. Love me some Tony. Let's see if Tony is there. There he is, Tony. Add him to the queue. We'll see. Ayuk already went off. Treylon Burks is there, maybe. Treylon Burks. We'll add Treylon Burks to the queue. Lave and Sky Moore. Because by the time I pick, we're talking about pick 86 and 87. That's where if TJ Hawkinson is there, maybe I'll think about Hawkinson. But I'm not going to go out of my way to take Hawkinson. Oh, Hawkinson and London did go off the board. I'm not really interested in any running backs at these spots. I think Amari Cooper already went off as well. Yeah. So I'm happy with the values that I've gotten, but it's obvious that a lot of other players in this draft are sniping up value pretty quickly. So even if there are some missteps or misclicks by certain players, it's not going to be too terribly costly for them. if they can pull it together near the end. But there is some major value left so far. To get Bateman and Godwin where I did is almost theft. Okay. Off the board right now, Singletary is there, Miles Sanders. We're talking about normally Miles Sanders is pick 87. Kareem Hunt goes off the board. Russell Wilson is definitely a target for me at this spot if that continues to fall. Just looking at what quarterbacks are still available. Dak and Wilson and Stafford. Looking where Wilson's going at 81. That's 2 rounds after ADP generally. Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford. Prescott, Brady, and Wilson are all before pick 96. So those are in consideration, and my queue just got decimated. Except for, and based on where I'm looking, Kadarius Toney goes usually at 77th overall. Russell Wilson goes off the board. So I'll probably consider Prescott and Toney at the turn if it's not happening, if nothing crazy happens. Down to our last couple seconds. Lockett goes off the board. That guarantees me one of Toney and Russell Wilson. Looks like I will get Kadarius Toney. Russell Wilson did go off the board. So I guess actually my quarterback is going to be Dak Prescott unless I want... No, you know what? I'm going to go with the stack. Tom Brady, welcome to the team. Good stack. I do have the stack. It was pretty obvious. It was staring me right in the face. I have Leonard Fournette. I have Chris Godwin. Boom. Tom Brady stack. Let's go, baby. Not worried about that at all. Oh, yes. Come to me. That's really nice. Pick 87, Tom Brady. Or 97, Tom Brady. Usually goes at 85 or round later. I'm just scooping up the value. Scooping it up. Yeah, it's such an advantage to drafting like this. So let's just check out the flex spots and see who is still available. So based on the ADPs provided on Fantrax, Rashad Penny is still available. His ADP is 84 here on Fantrax, but Rashad Penny normally goes 99 ADP on Drafters Fantasy. Zach Ertz goes much later at 109. Michael Carter goes a lot later. Ramondre Stevenson is very interesting. Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson goes like 99.5 normally. So in the first 100 picks, Ramondre Stevenson. Russell Gage is very... Oh, Stevenson goes off. I would love... Oh, TST's 1860 took a defense in round 9. Let's go! I don't even think I'm going to draft a defense. Unless they force me to draft a defense. I'm not going to. Okay. But Russell Gage is next on my list of players that I'm very interested in, just to stack with the Tom Brady, but also I'm pretty high on him. And then also looking, did we see James Cook go off yet? Because James Cook is a player that I've been more in on as of late. So James Cook did go off the board. He just went off literally this moment. So someone watching, I think, sniped him. That's okay. Cook and Penny, we're talking pick 120 and 121. Keeping track here of who's still going where. And the type of running backs that I like to target are the Isaiah Spillers, the Darrell Hendersons of the world, Rashad Whites. And in the same spot, the same token, Rashad White is the type of... He's probably going to be a pick here to stack and to handcuff with Brady, but also to handcuff with Leonard Fournette. J.D. McKissick in this type of format and this type of build is not going to help me. Like in a best ball build where I go 2 running backs early and then wait on running back. J.D. McKissick is interesting in best ball. When you're setting a lineup, you don't want that. Okay. I also haven't gotten a tight end yet, so let's see what tier of tight end we're looking at this time. Okay, so anyone around like 120. So Komet is a possibility here. Komet, maybe I just push tight end completely. Let someone else try to deal with that business, but I really want to target those upside touchdown dependent tight ends, but also with secured roles. And Gesicki, I was into Gesicki earlier this offseason, but now with the reports that he is struggling to get targets in camp, I think those are legit. And I was wondering what kind of reports we would get, whether Gesicki would be also involved or playing more on the outside, out wide instead of in the slot. But I don't like him getting the inline blocking assignments. That's not how he's built. Dawson Knox would have been a nice pick there. I think Zach Ertz went off earlier. I'm just going to keep pushing tight end. There's no reason for me to take a minus on some of the value here. So let's look at who else is available. As I mentioned, Russell Gage is of interest to me. Okay, or Julio. Maybe that's what I do, is I double tap those wide receivers. Okay, so Russell Gage, his ADP right now is 82.3, and I'm getting him at 120. Yes, please. Okay, and then based on ADP, Julio's going at 143, but I'm not going to bank that he's going to make it all the way back to me. Julio's ADP is 199, but someone's going to be sneaky and try to take him. And I think some of the backup running backs will still go back to me. Yeah, Drew getting Dak Prescott at the 10. That's pretty nice. But it's not to stack with anybody. Okay. Oh, Sky Moore. Ooh, Sky Moore. That's a good pick. Let's look at some of the flexes that are still available. One of the players that I want to target late, I'm going to put him in the queue, is Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale, boom. He's ADP 214. And yeah, Wan'Dale, the 5'8" slot receiver. It looks like he has the slot role locked down for the New York Giants, which, as we've seen in the past, can produce wide receiver 2 numbers. Sterling Shepard could do it, and Wan'Dale Robinson early declare SEC competition, and he just dominated. Massive target share, like almost 40% target share for Kentucky last year. Don't hate it. All right, so we see Green Bay and Buffalo defense go off, but I think I like an Isaiah Spiller at these spots. I'm probably going to look for an Isaiah Spiller type and an Irv Smith type when I come back around in the end of round 12 at the 144th, 145th picks overall. Yeah, or a Kenneth Gainwell. Those are definitely the types of players. And we're starting to see defenses go off, which is awesome. Please let the defenses go off. I will stream the defenses. I will stream the kickers. We're going to live the stream, and we're just going to do it this year. So Isaiah Spiller does go off. Evan Lucien does get Nyheim Hines and James Cook and Isaiah Spiller, which is nice. So he went with an anchor running back build, followed by Waddle, Moore, Mooney, Elijah Moore, Drake London. Okay, cool. Jacoby Myers goes off. That's nice. I didn't think I would go heavy Tampa, but here we are. Oh, we'll be able to navigate. Tampa Bay is bye week 11. I'm not going to take a second quarterback. I'll just stream those as well in the 1 week that I need Tom Brady to take a break or whatever. But yeah, Kenneth Gainwell goes off. Doggone it. It's okay. See if there are any other of those running back types that are out there. And Dameon Pierce, man, they are hammering running back really hard. Evan Lucien is. That's his build, though. He went anchor running back with DeAndre Swift and then crushed it with the wide receivers. And yeah, this is good. This is good. We're bringing it back to the tiers that make me happy about pushing tight end. So Cole Kmet in full PPR, I think, is going to be a decent tight end. I think he's going to be a low end tight end 1 based on the volume that we saw last year. I do worry about the touchdown upside. I do worry about the offensive line for Chicago. They're beat up. and they're bad, and then the bad ones are also beat up. So there's some real concerns about Justin Fields. So that is something that I'm monitoring for choosing some Chicago Bears players. But Cole Kmet is going to be he's definitely a dog. Okay. Notre Dame. You can blame me. I've got the Notre Dame bias. It's okay. Player going off in the 12th round, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He is a much more enticing best ball pick than redraft. He's not someone that I'm really targeting on any redraft team, because when is he going to make my lineup? In what realm is he going to make my lineup? I'm looking at tight ends and I'm looking at some running backs here. And with Cole Kmet still there at ADP 131, that's great. Yeah, Cole Kmet, baby. We're going to go with him. And then looking at some of the running backs at the spot, like 144. Yeah, Algier usually goes off around here. But let's look and see. All right, I decided, you know what? Back-to-back tight ends. We're going to go with who's ever hot, Irv Smith or Cole Kmet. Fine. I screw running back. We're not going to do that. If McCaffrey, Barkley, and Fournette do not get me to the promised land, I don't know who will. Okay. But I'm going to take some late round. Wow, we just saw 3 quarterbacks go off rounds 11, 12, and 13, plus Herbert. We're getting boxed out from backup quarterbacks. Yikes. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I just double tap tight end, and I don't need to worry about tight end anymore. I've got 3 picks left, so we're going to go with some running back pieces. We'll see who is available. Ronald Jones is not on my list. The drum beat keeps getting louder and louder for Ronald Jones to not make the team. I don't know what that was all about, but I think if they time out, it makes a special noise. Nevertheless, I'm looking here at some of the other running backs I like late. Marlon Mack. Is he on the board? Yes, he is. Okay, Wan'Dale Robinson is there as well. That's someone that I'd like to pick. J.D. McKissick is there, but he's not going to, I don't know. If I'm having to start J.D. McKissick with Fournette, Barkley, and McCaffrey, I'm in a lot of trouble. Might as well pick up the handcuff Donta Foreman. That's interesting to me. Zamir White might be an interesting pickup. Just looking at the rest of ADPs and cross-referencing, seeing which players could step into a handcuff role. James Robinson go off the board. I think he did already. Yes, he did. Round 12. Okay. Algier and McKissick go off the board. Not a surprise. Okay. Yeah. We're already seeing some mistakes, misclicks. It's continued. When you pick 4 quarterbacks and you're the first defense and kicker off the board, it feels good in the draft, but it's suboptimal if you want to try to win this league. I feel like I've got the power running backs, and then I've got some really solid wide receivers. Brown, McLaurin, Bateman, Godwin and Tony can fill in. Gage and Jones, whoever's healthy, can fill in. I'm just chips in on Tampa, which is okay. I can navigate week 11 when we get there. Yeah, I don't think they're going to make me take a defense and kicker. So that's good. Keyshawn Vaughn might be interesting. He's running as the running back 2 right now behind Leonard Fournette, although it's probably Rachaad White if Fournette gets hurt. But you never know. You never know. Keyshawn Vaughn has disappointed as of late. Yeah, Fryermuth in the 14th. That's not a bad pick for Fantrax. Okay. Yeah, so far there are a few teams who don't have kicker or defense, and the rest of the teams are looking foolish here who did pick kicker and defense. Yeah. So far 3 defenses off the board. And Carlson, it looks like, Tucker as the kickers. Everyone else has pushed kicker and defense. Drew Delaware took the Philly defense. And I'll probably go Marlon Mack here just as the cheapest starting running back that's available. I anticipate that Marlon Mack is going to be the starter for Houston. Draft now. And let's see. Donta Foreman or Zamir White. I think I'll take Foreman just as the handcuff. Boom. High upside handcuff. And then Wan'Dale Robinson is going to probably be my last pick. I don't think he has. Let me just verify that his bye week is not week 11. Not that it really matters, but let's see. Yeah, Wan'Dale. Oh, that's because I'm only looking at running backs. Wan'Dale Robinson has bye week 9, so I think we're pretty safe there. Let me just look at the rest of the players. Okay, and Njoku's ADP is there. Jahan Dotson is first round pick. Robbie Anderson. Fantrax, you need to you need to fix this. Robbie Anderson's name is now spelled Robbie. Just a heads up for those watching at home. Mrs. Tom Brady takes the Tampa Bay defense. Okay. That was my stack, but here we are. And then we see the Miami defense, New England defense, Indianapolis defense, all good defenses going off so far. But I'm going to push it. Why would I take a defense? Why would I take a kicker? And there are a few teams that it looks like they're... Yeah, I'm not taking a defense or a kicker. I'm just being like that. It's okay. There we go. All right. Ryan Tannehill goes off the board. Round 15. Tyler Bass as the kicker. I'll probably come around and take a defense if you're taking a kicker around at 15. Less Jock, more Rock, complaining that this is probably the worst draft ever done. Aaron Jones, Deebo Samuel, Travis Etienne, Mahomes, Williams. Yeah, there's no stack happening. There's not a lot of up. Why would you take Damian Harris here? I don't understand that pick. Robert Woods is fine. Olave is fine. Darrell Henderson's fine. Derek Carr. Why would you take Derek Carr in the 11th round? Take an upside pick. Oh, well. Yeah, I've picked 7 wide receivers: Marquise Brown, Terry McLaurin, Rashad Bateman, Chris Godwin, Kadarius Toney, Russell Gage, Julio Jones. Went all in on Tampa Bay. It feels like and looks like. I just wanted to have those pieces, make sure I got them. I want nothing to do with their tight ends. Give me Julio, give me Gage, give me Godwin, give me Fournette, and Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady was able to sustain 3 top 12 wide receivers, Fournette, who was a top 6 running back, and Gronk, who was a top 4 tight end last season. Yes, I think he can do it again. Will it be worse? Yeah, I think it'll be 3 like top 20 wide receivers. But I think it's going to be Gage. If I'm putting chips on it, it's probably Gage. Julio, he has the past upside, which is an eyebrow raise, but he's lost his wide receiver 1 rate by 10% each of the last 2 seasons. No, I'm not interested in that. Jahan Dotson goes off. He's the last of the first round picks, I believe. Romeo Dobbs is here on the list for wide receivers. I'm like, nope, not gonna take some Dobbs. Sorry. Yeah, as you can tell, I don't need any like that. And if I need to drop Irv Smith or Cole Kmet, I can do that. Cool. And Wan'Dale Robinson's probably going to be there for me. I will be shocked if Wan'Dale is not there for me here as the last pick of the 16th round. It's been a lot of fun drafting and seeing where everyone's taking players. We see someone take 6 quarterbacks and 16 picks. I think they missed the memo. It's not a super flex draft. But here we are. Paris Campbell goes off. This is Tom Brady with the second to last pick, and then I will round it out probably with the Wan'Dale pick. Okay, cool beans. Yeah, as they were saying in the chat, lots of fun. This is great. I'll do a recap really quickly once I select Wan'Dale Robinson. Okay. Oh, Brian Robinson goes off. I had a heart attack for a moment there. Wan'Dale Robinson, we're going to draft now. Mr. Irrelevant. Yay! All right, let's look at the draft. Let's see how I did. Started McCaffrey, Barkley, Fournette. Then went Marquise Brown, McLaurin, Rashad Bateman, Chris Godwin at the 7-1. At the 8-12, Kadarius Toney, Tom Brady at the 9-1 to stack. Then I got Gage and Julio Jones, Cole Kmet and Irv Smith, and then Marlon Mack, Donta Foreman, and Wan'Dale Robinson to round it out. That is a 1-5-8-2-0-0 build. No kickers, no defense. Everyone, I will see you on the stream. That was a lot of fun. And in the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm Bradley Stalder at FFStalder. If you thought this was a lot of fun, check it out. I'm going to be at the FF Expo this weekend. I'll be doing more drafts. I'll be doing lots of live things. It's going to be a ton of fun. Yeah, follow me on Twitter at FF Stalder. And in the meantime, good luck in the best ball streets, everybody.